Okay, so no edits, no cuts. I'm just gonna talk for however long it takes me to get this out. Hello, my name is Kai. I am on social media, the Kai Priestess. I am a spiritual life coach. I am a human. I am a healer. I am flawed. I am grieving. I am creative. I am loving. I am kind. I am here to express myself because I think I needed another outlet, another avenue to express myself. So I chose YouTube. I'm already on TikTok. I have a pretty large following on TikTok. Obviously, I've had Instagram since I was a child. And I just felt like I need more like long form content to really like express. Instead of like guiding others, I just need to express. I have a cat. He's black. Don't be weirded out. So basically, I want to explain in this one video how I got here. Like I said, my name is Kai. I'm not going to explain my entire life story, but I am from Atlanta, Georgia. I do have, I was raised in Marietta. Which is like 20 minutes north of Atlanta. If you live in Atlanta, you know that that's not Atlanta. That's why I had to say that, because a lot of people from Atlanta be like, it's not Atlanta. Okay, I know. But if you're not from Atlanta, it's only 20 minutes and you're like, what? It's the same thing. So that's where I'm from. My spiritual journey started, I don't know, probably in high school. Just being aware. I went to school with a lot of different types of people, and my friend group was very, very diverse. To the point where recently I realized I never had any American black or white friends, like at all. My close friend group was Guatemalan, half white, half Mexican, Kenyan, Sudanese, El Salvadorian, and Iranian. And that was pretty much my close-knit friend group from all over, literally very diverse school that I went to. And so like being raised around all those different types of people and me being like a very inquisitive young person, I've always been interested in spirituality and really understanding it. I've always felt very close to God. I've always talked to God since I was a little girl. I used to always like had a personal relationship with God, like real conversations at the age of like 6 with God. Like me and him were locked in. So I've always been inquisitive about religion and the things I'm being taught, right, that don't make sense to me. And my best friend to this day is Muslim. And she's like the best human ever. So like knowing her and then feeling that some Christians think that, you know, if you don't accept Jesus into your heart, then you're going to hell. Like that one truth or that one observation that I had noticed in life just did not add up. And I was like, no, something about this is not right. So anyways, from there I went on a spiritual journey. You guys know how that goes. Dark night of the soul. Deep, like really for me, it started with like learning. So like learning about my ancestry, learning about my people before slavery, right? Like indigenous people and their culture and the knowledge that was taken from us through colonization. It started with that, and then it also then went into like more of a spiritual journey as far as understanding like the power behind melanin, the Anunnaki, the Emerald Tablets, the real meaning behind the Bible, right? Like that stuff really, really interests me still to this day. And learning all of that literally tore my psyche apart. You know what I mean? Like literally felt like I was losing, because I was losing an identity and I was gaining a new one. So right around like early years of college, I was learning a lot of things. I majored in African diaspora because I was so black. Like, right? Like I was like, we black. We gonna learn about some stuff that we care about, because I didn't know what I wanted to major in college. So I just was like, well, at least let me be here, you know, learning about something I want to learn about. So that's what I did. Fast forward, a lot, you know, happened throughout my journey. But I've been very like business minded on top of that. So like this idea that like you have to work hard to get what you want has been a belief that I'm still working through, but that I've had to really dismantle. Just recently, I had a huge, I would say, like, tower moment. Not recently, but like in recent years. I would say probably from like 2020 to now, which is 2025. I have been going through like the biggest transformation of my life, and I feel like it just ended, but also just started. Like the bad part just ended, but the new beginning just started. So I'm just now learning how to like be myself. How to That's not true. I've been being more myself all the time, but I'm just now learning the more, right? Like the way that I operate, the way that I make money, the way that I am socially usually is to appease others. And that's been really weighing on me because the last 5 years, obviously we had a pandemic. I've had several people in my life pass away, and one of them being my father, and that's the most recent. Well, after my father, someone that I knew passed away, but that almost gets overshadowed because my father was also closer to me. And so he passed away in 2022, and then I also lost my job, and then I turned 30 3 weeks after I lost my job. And just going through a lot of transitions at the same time brought me to a place where I had to really recognize what makes me tick, what makes me happy, what do I want? Because for so long, and I didn't realize I was doing this, but I was just working for aesthetics or working for things to look stable, and they were stable, right? Like I was financially stable, but even when I was financially stable, I was in a place that I didn't want to be in, right? Or I'm not doing the things that I want to do. I'm just doing things that I have to do in order to maintain this sense of like stability. So I really had to like, no dad, no job, and I also went through a breakup, no man, nothing. And I lived alone as well. So like being alone at that time was so devastating. And if you're watching this and you're grieving, and I'm sorry if this is a trigger, but be around people if you can. I couldn't, because I couldn't even go to work. I eventually started working at a hair shop, which really changed my life. Shout out to Tyrelina. But yeah, like just working around people, just good energy really helps me a lot. So now I totally understand why people say like when somebody passed away, like they would go back to work immediately because they needed something to do. I totally resonate with that. I had nothing to do. I had people to talk to, but no one was physically around, and that took a real big toll on me. To the point where I still get emotional when I think about it. And because I just went through, it was so emotionally scarring for me, to be honest with you. And I'm still working through a little bit of it. Not a lot, but a little bit. It still comes up. I know I'm working through it because I know I still get emotional, right? So that's my indicator that I'm still working through it. But it's way better than it used to be. Way better. Because I have more support now. I have more aligned friends. I have a more aligned life. Like, I started making music as a form of transmutation of my emotions. I started expressing myself through music. I gained a new friend group, which has been amazing. And I've had experiences that open my eyes to what I will and will not tolerate, what I do and do not want. And I'm being given an opportunity to be really clear on what I want in this life. So, saying all that to say, I'm here now. I'm on YouTube. I'm going to be making more videos like this, kind of talking about my actual life journey, and how I'm working through things and how I'm doing things. Because as a spiritual life coach, I just feel like, and this is something I'm working through currently, right? So we'll start with this. I'm working through like how to be vulnerable while still feeling like I am worthy enough to coach others. Because I feel, when I first started being a spiritual life coach, I think it was 2021. I want to say 2021 when I decided to be a spiritual life coach. Soon as I decided to be a spiritual life coach, like I went through so many transitions, like, because that was 2021, right? So like then my friend passed away. Then I was struggling with my PCOS, had my hormones, all of it. You know, I've had PCOS most of my life, but I was at a period of time in my life where now I'm having really, really bad periods. Now it felt like I was bipolar. Like I would be super, super manic happy and then super, super depressed. And this is before my friend passed away, right? Then my friend passed away. Then I finally moved to Atlanta. Then my dad passes away literally a month after I moved. Literally a month after I moved to Atlanta, my dad passed away. Then 4 months later, I lost my job. 3 weeks later was my birthday. I turned 30. So I'm going through my Saturn return, right? Like at the same time. So like me figuring out who I am in the midst of all of that was really difficult for me. So I wasn't coaching for a long time. And because I wasn't coaching, I started to feel like, can I coach? Am I a good coach? Am I able? I knew at the time I wasn't able. I didn't want to, it just wasn't something that I could do at that time, right? And it was really frustrating for me because that was my only way that I knew to even make money. And I didn't have a job. So, you know what I mean? So I had to figure out like, what do I do? And honestly, like the universe just sent me a lifeline and provided me with this amazing job that I now have where I work with children. I've worked with children like a while ago, but not this consistently. So I never thought that it's something I would want to do, but I really do love it. And it's been really eye-opening to work with kids because they're in the foster care system who are so disadvantaged in many ways, mostly that they don't have a stable foundation. They don't have a stable family unit, you know, and I see how it affects them. And my whole life purpose, I feel like, is so surrounded by like the need of support. Because I've always felt like I needed support through my spiritual journey. I felt like I was alone, you know. Who do you talk to about the fact that I'm literally glitching the matrix right now and I have nobody to tell it to? I don't have anybody that understands, you know what I mean? Back when I was going through my spiritual journey, that would really understand how I'm seeing, like, it's hard to even explain unless you've been through it, but like I'm seeing glitches in my matrix reality. I'm seeing real life glitches. I am Neo. At one point, I remember I manifested a trench coat that I then took to the airport. I was walking through the airport like I was Neo. I felt like I was literally Neo. I was getting download after download and synchronicity after synchronicity, and like it was insane. So part of my journey is to help people have more of a community. I think yes, of course there's times when you do have to be alone to learn certain things, to integrate certain like forms of knowledge. But I think that also we need community, okay? Like we do. I've been alone for a lot of the hard parts, and I just don't think that that's, I don't know. I just don't think that that's like necessary. I think if I had a spiritual community at the time that my dad passed away, and I did, I'm not gonna say I didn't. I did, they just weren't physically around me. But if they had been physically around me, or if I had a consistent like check-in with them, it would have been a lot easier. People who know what I've gone through. I created my own support group, my own grief support group. And I could have joined a support group, but because I'm so spiritual, like it's just hard for me to join groups that I don't feel spiritually aligned to. And like I don't know, if you've ever been in that situation where you're super depressed, it's like hard to even like do anything. If I'm being real with you, I didn't want to get up out the bed, so I'm not about to go search for a support group. If I'm doing anything, it's self-soothing. It's not gonna be like, you know what I mean? So anyways, my point is, good Lord. And this is why I need this outlet, because I have so much to say. So that's kind of my thing. That's kind of my purpose, creating support for people who are going through these awakenings, but just life. You know what I mean? Like life is an awakening. Like that's the whole purpose, is for you to align with your purpose, with your path. So creating support around that is my passion. Helping people is my passion, and I hope and pray that this is an avenue that I can connect with more people who are aligned with me. I'm in the process of creating a group for women specifically to so okay, this is a part of my story as well. Last year, I think probably around November, I started 75 Hard. So if you guys don't know what 75 Hard is, 75 Hard is a challenge that it's mostly like physical strength type of challenge, like a workout challenge. So you have to work out twice a day. One of those would be like an outdoor walk or something, but for 45 minutes twice a day. Drink a gallon of water every day. Take a progress picture of yourself every day. What else? Stick to a diet, which I already don't eat meat, so I just kind of like went with that. And the other one is, read a book every day. Read 10 minutes, 20 pages of a book, but I used to do audiobooks, so it would be like 20 minutes a day. So that was a challenge. And the reason I did that challenge was not because I want to be Superman or Wonder Woman or whatever, but also, yes, but mainly because I was so depressed for so long, and I just decided, like, I got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm not as depressed. I had just moved into this apartment with my sister, which is great because now I live with someone, right? Like I said before, that was a big issue for me, living alone. So I live with my sister now. So I was like, okay, I'm in a good place. Like, I am not going to spend this next winter depressed. The last 2 winters I've been depressed. I'm not doing it again. So I'm going to do something to get my mind off of, I just need to stay busy, basically. I need to create a challenge for myself. Create something for myself to do. And I knew that, like, putting my energy into something physical would help propel me in other ways. And it did. Super proud of myself. Super glad I did it. But it was not, those things I just told you are so, like, a man obviously came up with that. You know what I mean? So I'm creating a version of that is more geared towards spirituality and spiritual growth, and also around a woman's cycle, because 75 days is such a random masculine number. So it's going to be called Sacred 60. 60 days is 2 moon cycles approximately, and we're going to be learning about our cycles and how we should be working around our cycles. Another one of my passions is breaking people, and I'm a woman, so women specifically I work best with, but like breaking people out of this like masculine-led society, because we have such a masculine-led society, and I think we don't think about moon cycles on a daily basis. I do, because it's like what I do, but like but even I'm learning, you know what I mean? Like, it's not something that's taught to you at a young age. You're learning Monday through Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday is the weekend. Work, rest, work, rest. Like, you're only resting so that you can work. But what I'm wanting people to do is create a life that is around your actual cycle, knowing that if you're starting your business or whatever you want to do for yourself, maybe don't bring patriarchal ideas into your business, into your personal life. You don't have to work on your business every single day. You can notice that, you know what, right now I'm ovulating. So like, there's a different way that I work than when I'm in my follicular phase or whatever, right? So noticing your energy spikes and when you're naturally more energetic, and working around that instead of trying to make because what happens is a lot of times, especially for women, we blame ourselves for not being productive, or like we'll be like, oh, I rested today for 5 hours. I was so lazy. I'm sorry. Your body is preparing to give life to the world. Sorry if it needed to rest a little bit after you just got off your 9-to-5 job that you shouldn't even have as a woman, but you have to because you have to survive and prepare. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like we gotta really do a whole mindset shift, and it's scary because yes, we do have to pay bills, we do have to do these things, but everything is energy. So if you want to align with that, you can. If you want to align with it, you will. And I have, and somehow I manifested an opportunity where like I work and I'm physically active, which also is helpful for me because now I'm realizing I was working from home before. I was working in tech. Working from home doesn't work for me. Being still doesn't work for me. So I'm driving now for my job, which actually is really helpful for me. I didn't realize that I would want that. I didn't even realize this job existed. But somehow I've manifested a way to be able to do what I want when I want, pretty much. Like, yeah, when I work, I have to work, but I'm driving. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm listening to readings on YouTube. I'm you know what I mean? I'm doing what I want. I'm listening to music. I'm la, 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 la. And then I pick up kids and take them to where they need to go. And I'm back to being by myself. And I'm having a lot of time to think and to process and to express. And like, you know what I mean? So like my point is I aligned myself first with this mindset and then the job came. So you don't get to do it the opposite way. And that's how manifestation works. You got to choose first and everything else will align for you, around your mindset. So basically Sacred 60 is going to help you create a mindset for you as a woman. And if you are a woman watching this, and honestly, I don't know, I might open it up to men eventually, because I do think like if you're going to force us to live in a masculine society, we should also learn how to live in a feminine way, because it fosters an environment for creativity, for creative expression. And that's part of the challenge as well. Like, what are you creating? That's the main part of my challenge I'm going to create, is what are we creating? So the link is going to be in the description below if you're interested, but it's going to be amazing. And I'm so super, super excited to gain a new community and see what we create. And at the end, we're going to come together and show each other what we did. And yeah, it's going to be super cool. So yeah, basically, that's what I'm working on currently. Learning also to rest, learning also to take my own advice and not have to feel like I'm working all the time. And yeah, so that's me. That's Kai. That's been me for the last lifetime. I'm 32 now, so it's been a ride, and I just hope that this is the start. I know that this is the start of something really exciting and new for me and for us and for you as well. If you're watching this and you're aligned with this message, chances are you're also in the same boat in some way. So thank you for joining and listening to my story. Yeah, video number 1, and cheers to many more. And like I said, the link is in the description below if you want to join Sacred 60 or see what it's about. Join the community. We have a group chat. All that stuff is going to be there. So yeah, I'm excited, and thank you for welcoming me into YouTube life world. Yeah, this is my first video. Okay, woo, we did it. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Bye.